everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Hiba, and here on my channel I like to talk about recent missing person cases. Today I want to talk to you about Kaniya Weddle, a 30-year-old woman who was last seen on April 14th in Little Rock, Arkansas. So the day prior, April 13th, was actually Kaniya's birthday. On Wednesday, the day of her disappearance, Kaniya was last seen spending some time with her friends at Bar Louie in Contrell in Pleasant Ride Town Center. And we know this because Kaniya took a time-stamped photo with one of these friends at 10:48 p.m. And I'll go ahead and insert that photo here. After spending some time at Bar Louie, Kaniya and another group of friends had plans to meet at a second local bar, but Kaniya never showed up. So earlier that day, Kaniya had been at a cousin's home spending some time with her family, and according to family members, Kaniya was constantly in contact with her family, checking in with them every day, at least one of her family members. So it's very unusual for her to be out of contact for this long, and I believe that the family were the ones to initially try to trace Kaniya's phone after realizing that she was missing. Kaniya's cell phone was last pinged nearly 30 miles away from Bar Louie, which is where she was last seen, near West Maddox Road in Jacksonville. From what we know, her phone was near a rural wooded path leading to a chained gate on private property. And I'll insert a picture here of the road and that location so you have an idea of what it looks like. But Kaniya's family went and searched this area for hours over the past weekend and to see if there was any trace of Kaniya, but they didn't find anything. Like I mentioned, West Maddox Road is in a rural wooded area, and as you can probably tell, this isn't a road that you would necessarily take unless you had to get to a destination, or unless you were trying to get to somebody's home that lived here. However, I did some digging, and the location that her phone last pinged from was actually not too far away from the Little Rock Air Force Base. I'll insert a map here, but the Air Force Base is approximately 2 miles away from where her phone pinged. I wonder if Kaniya knew someone at this Air Force Base or was on her way there to potentially hang out with someone. It's possible that she may have made last-minute plans to meet up with someone, or had these plans in between the first bar and the second bar. However, this doesn't explain her absence. Even if she had plans to meet with someone at that base that night, why would she disappear, and why wouldn't she reach out to someone by now? Of course, it's also possible that West Maddox wasn't where Kaniya last was, and that her phone last pinged here because the battery died in this area, or happened to lose service there, or just be disposed of there for some reason. And I've seen some people point out that Kaniya had posted on her Facebook that she wanted to take a vacation or to take a trip somewhere on social media, and I've seen these posts myself. However, I believe that Kaniya would have made contact with someone by now, knowing how worried they were and seeing all the social media frenzy that's been going on. If she were truly taking some time away or going on a trip of some sort, like her family mentioned, she spoke to someone at least once a day, so like I said, I feel like she would have reached out. I also don't think she would have chosen to leave when she did. She had made plans to meet with another group of friends at a second bar. If she had no intentions of coming to that bar, why would she solidify these plans and agree to meet if she was planning on leaving? I don't think she would have made these plans in the first place. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, Kaniya's birthday was actually the previous day, April 13th. She actually made a post on Facebook that reads, "I just want to thank the man above for bringing me in this year for my 30th cake day. I can't thank you enough. This time last year, I wasn't doing so good, in and out of the hospital from being diagnosed with RA, which I'm assuming is rheumatoid arthritis, anemia, having a collapsed lung, and fluid around my heart. Lord, I thank you, and I can't thank you enough. Now I'm doing so much better. Hashtag nobody but God. Thank y'all for the cake day wishes." So from this post, we can tell that Kaniya had been through a lot this previous year, but that she also seemed to be in high spirits and thankful that she was doing okay. She seemed to be happy to see another year and was excited to be doing better. Based on this post, I don't believe that she would have willingly chosen to disappear without letting someone know. However, aside from her medical problems, Kaniya was also dealing with some legal issues prior to her disappearance, and I just want to emphasize that the only reason I bring this up is because it may have some sort of connection to Kaniya's disappearance, or at least highlight how unusual it is for her to disappear. So in June of 2019, Kaniya was charged with forgery and theft, A plea deal was negotiated, and I believe that under the terms of her plea agreement, Kaniya would have to serve probation but would avoid jail time. While Kaniya's case was officially closed on April 13th, 2021, so just a week ago, a final sentencing trial was held on April 15th. But as we know, Kaniya disappeared on April 14th, and so we can assume that she actually never made it to that final hearing. However, Kaniya had been actively involved in her case and had attended previous hearings, so it doesn't make sense that she would willingly skip the final concluding hearing. And like I said, I only bring this up to highlight how out of character it is for her to just miss this final hearing and just disappear. Kaniya did have a ton on her plate, especially considering all of the medical problems she'd endured over the past year, but to just disappear without some sort of communication with her family and friends just doesn't sit right with me or with her family, and they've indicated that they believe that she is in some sort of danger. It's possible that Kaniya left Louie's with one of her friends from the first bar and that the two of them had plans to stop somewhere prior to going to the second bar to meet with the next group of friends, but something went wrong along the way. It's also possible that someone may have seen Kaniya at the first bar and followed her out when she left. It's confirmed that they had cameras inside of Louie's, so investigators will know who, if anyone, ended up leaving with Kaniya that night, and I'm sure they'll be speaking to them and coming up with a timeline of what happened. I've also heard that there are cameras in the parking lot of Bar Louie's and also in the surrounding parking lots, so I'm sure they'll have a timeline and directions of where Kaniya went. For now, what we do know is that Kaniya was last seen driving a 2019 black Jeep Cherokee with an Arkansas license plate, which reads 550YVI. She's 5'7" and weighs around 175 pounds. She currently has long black braids, and she also has her nose pierced. If you have any information about Kaniya's whereabouts, the number you're asked to call will be down in the description below. And as always, I'll also have my sources down in the description below. That's all I have for this case. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe.